What's going on, everybody? This is your WOF Outlook and discussion for Wednesday, May 31st, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the Gulf of Mexico this morning. We do have our Gulf low still here spinning across parts of the east central Gulf of Mexico here. The National Hurricane Center still gives it a 10% chance of possible tropical development within the next 48 hours, and they give it a 20% chance of tropical development during the next 7 days, you guys. But as you can see here, dry air is still ruling the game for most of the Gulf of Mexico here. Even the dry air is getting wrapped into this circulation as we move in closer here, you guys. You can see the low level circulation is right here, and look at the rains here on the north and east side of it, you guys. But this dry air is wrapping up in here. And until this dry air can subside some, you guys, no development is going to is expected, and also with the westerly wind shear that's going to be coming across the Gulf of Mexico through the remainder of this week into next week. Any type of tropical development, if any, is going to be expected slow to occur, you guys. Nothing quick is going to come up out of this system. As you can see, the water temperatures here is fairly warm enough. We have 80s across the majority of the Gulf of Mexico. You guys, across parts of the northeast Gulf of Mexico, we still have a few 70s, upper 70s here, but for the most part, the water temperatures are warm enough for this system to go ahead and develop, you guys, if all the other dynamics was in play. You guys, we're going to take a look at the surface pressures here as well. And as you can see, pressures are not that low here. We have 1,011 millibars here in the middle of the Gulf, 1,010, 1,011. As we get closer towards the center here, let's see if we can get some ship observations on closer to the center, you guys. Yeah, we're a little bit closer to the center. We have a ship here, 1,009 millibars, 1,011. So basically between, I would say, 1,009 and 1,012 millibars. So not that much, not too low for a system to form, you guys. But so that just lets us know that 1,010 to 1,012 millibars, this storm is not in no hurry at all to go ahead and intensify into a pure tropical system. And we're also going to take a look at the wind speeds that's currently going on here, you guys. And as you can see, and I'm going to take the water vapor imagery off. Hold up, you guys. Let's go ahead. All right. And as you can see here, winds are not that strong either here around the center of circulation here. We have winds probably as high as you have some few 20s, 22, you guys. So basically between 10 and 20 miles per hour, you can say generally this is the winds that this system is currently producing, 10 to 20. So yet again, that just goes to show you that this is not yet no pure tropical system, and it is nowhere in a hurry to get going, you guys. So that is good news, but it will be bringing some very heavy rains and gusty winds, most likely for portions of the Florida Peninsula here as we move on later into the week and into the weekend, you guys. All right, as I pause this and we head on over to courtesy of Tropical Tidbits, you guys, here's the early morning run of the GFS. This is starting at about 7, 8 this morning. And as you can see, the GFS not really too enthused. Here's our disturbance here across the eastern Gulf. As we move on to 12 o'clock, I say 12 o'clock. This is 12Z tomorrow morning, June 1st, you guys. You can see the GFS has this system, but not organized at all, just broad low pressure spinning here. And as we head on into Friday, going into Saturday, it's still spinning here across parts of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but the GFS is really not enthused at all. I don't even believe the GFS even has it even correctly initialized as of what is currently going on now on satellite with the system. And as we continue to go on out through at least 7 days, you guys, you can see the GFS really does not develop this system. As we move on to the low level vortex, let's see if the GFS develops this. As you can see, it has a faint broad spin here, but not much. And as you can see, that broad spin kind of drifts to the northwest some throughout today and it's about through tomorrow afternoon. But as we get into Thursday night, going into Friday, you can see whatever little vortex, little system at the lower levels that this system has spinning, it starts to drift back down to the south and southeast, and then starts to pivot its way across the Florida. That energy starts to pivot its way across the Florida Peninsula, then on out into the Southwest Atlantic. Now, as we go to the European model, which is a little bit shows this system a little bit more better, initializes it, let's put it that way, a little better than what the GFS does. And as we go on into throughout today, and we get to Thursday morning, you can see you guys as like the GFS, the European does have the about 1,010 millibar broad low here across the Eastern Gulf. As we continue to spin this on out through Thursday, you can see the system basically sits here, then starts to drift to the south, then southeast. Then all of this moisture starts to then moves eastward across the Florida Peninsula, then on out into the Southwest Atlantic, you guys, where it really doesn't seem like much development is going to be expected here, as well as even as we get across the weekend and on to the east side of Florida here, you guys. Does not look like tropical development is going to be expected. As we look at the 850 millibar low level vortex to see what the European initializes with this system. And as you can see, as we go throughout today and tomorrow, you can see it basically drifts to the north, possibly north-northwest. But as we head through tomorrow afternoon and evening, going into Friday, you can see it starts to drift back south, goes southeastward here, pivots east. Then all this energy starts to move across the Florida's peninsula over the weekend. And as we head on out into the southwestern Atlantic through the beginning and middle of next week, you can see no development is really expected. And this is why development is not really expected, you guys, because taking a look at the European upper level winds forecast in the upper levels, look here, you can see as we go through today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, look at the strong westerly wind shear. Look at the blues here. That indicates 40 to 50 knots of westerly wind shear that's going to be across the Gulf throughout the whole entire event of this system. And even as we start to get into parts of the end of the week and into next week, you can see even as the system in the low gets east of Florida, those westerly winds are still screaming in the upper levels. So as I said, development is going to be very tough for this system. We will continue to monitor the trends here, but as far as a pure tropical system, I highly doubt it. As we had across the Carolinas last week, that's what I expect with this low here across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, you guys. Now, as we take it back towards the lower 48, right, you guys, let's zoom back out. As we get again, you guys, we still have the severe weather that is going on across the lower 48. And as we take the surface plots off, you guys, give me a second to get all of this off so we can get into the severe weather. All right. All right, you guys, let's see one more thing. All right. And as you can see, you guys, you can see the system here across the eastern Gulf. And it's forecast to track to move east northeastward on out into the southwestern Atlantic as we head on throughout this week and into next week. Now, as we get to convective outlook day one, you guys, you can see the storm prediction center for the parts of the southern and central high plains. Again, we do have a marginal and slight risk for severe weather. The slight risk does include Amarillo, Lubbock, Roswell. We have the marginal risk that includes Midland, going as far up as Liberio, Garden City, Denver, Cheyenne, even as far north as Rapid City, South Dakota is under this marginal risk. And you can see general thunderstorm risk across much of the remainder of the central, northern, and southern United States, with the East Coast remaining of just about fairly quiet here, you guys. We checked the probability. We do have a 5% chance of a spin up of a few tornadoes here across eastern New Mexico, a 2% chance on the outer edge of that, which does extend into parts of the western Texas panhandle, you guys, and even parts of the extreme western Oklahoma panhandle could see a spin up of a tornado or two. So we will be on the lookout for that, you guys. Hail pushing that 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter, a 15% chance across the slight risk, a 5% chance encompasses the marginal risk all the way up to South Dakota, you guys. We go to the wind probability, the same as the hail probability, 15% chance across the slight risk of winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70, maybe even 75, and a 5% chance of that happening across the marginal risk all the way up to as far as possibly as far north as Rapid City, South Dakota. No significant tornadoes is expected, you guys. That is good news. We do have a significant hatched area for hail across eastern New Mexico, you guys. So we will definitely be on the lookout for that. Roswell, Clovis, Royal, all these areas could see some significant hail on the order of 2 to maybe even 3 inches in diameter. We also have a hatched area for significant winds here, which does yet again include Clovis, now extending into the Texas Panhandle, Amarillo, Dumas, Plainview. All these areas could see winds as up as high as 80 miles per hour today. So definitely we have to be on the lookout across parts of the southern high plains today, you guys. And as we go out to the HRRR, just to see how all of this is going to play out through the next 48 hours, you guys. All right, let's get this to load. All right, and we're going to start here at 12 o'clock as usual at your Weather on the Fly, you guys. As you can see, by 12 p.m., not much going on across the lower 48. We have some showers and thunderstorms starting to develop across parts of Idaho and even across parts of the Rockies here. But other than that, we just have the showers and thunderstorms here in the eastern Gulf of Mexico with this low pressure system, you guys. And as we move on to about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, all right, look at the increase in intensity and coverage of showers and thunderstorms across parts of the Florida's peninsula and panhandle here, you guys, even across parts of southeast Texas, southern Louisiana, Mississippi, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Alabama could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, you guys. As we move on to about 4 or 5 o'clock, look at the cells starting to erupt across eastern New Mexico, the Texas, Oklahoma panhandle. All hazards will be possible, even a few spin ups here as we get into late afternoon, going into the evening hours. Even here across parts of eastern Colorado, some strong cells could be in play here. Look here, even across parts of around Oklahoma City, extending into parts of eastern Kansas, northern Missouri, the Chicago area. Could have some showers, maybe a strong thunderstorm or two here, even across parts of North Dakota and Minnesota, you guys, extending into parts of northwest Iowa. We move on to 8, 9, 10 in the evening, you guys. Look at this heavy cluster of showers and thunderstorms moving out of eastern New Mexico across the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma's Panhandle, you guys, extending on up into parts of western Nebraska. We could have some heavy cells going on. Still some scattered showers and thunderstorms ongoing across parts of the Florida Peninsula and Panhandle with this Gulf low. We move into the overnight hours, you guys, going into June 1st. You can see, look here, even more showers and thunderstorms even start to erupt here across the slight risk area here across parts of eastern New Mexico and the Texas Panhandle. So showers and thunderstorms are probably going to be ongoing throughout the overnight hours here across the southern high plains, you guys. And the Gulf of Mexico going to still be active here. There's primarily the eastern Gulf with this low that will still have some heavy showers and probably a rumble of thunder here across extreme southern Florida's peninsula and the Keys area. We move to 7 a.m., which does segue us to Convective Outlook Day 2, you guys. And as we go to Convective Outlook Day 2, you can see basically a general thunderstorm risk here across much of the United States, even here getting into parts of the Northeast, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire here, you guys. Some of these areas could see some thunderstorms here as we go through tomorrow, June 1st. The only severe threat here is a marginal risk as of right now for yet again the Texas Oklahoma panhandles. As we look at the probabilities, a 2% chance on Thursday for a quick spin up or two across the panhandle. We will be on the lookout for that. A 5% chance across the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle for hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. And we do have a 5% chance also in that same general area for winds pushing 50 to 60, maybe gusting to 70 here. No slight risk yet, but we will be on the lookout just in case doing updates as we go throughout the day and overnight. This could be upgraded to a slight risk, you guys. So we will be on the lookout. Now, as we continue to HRRR out, and as you can see, as we go through 12 p.m. tomorrow, let's check and see what's going on, you guys. You can see here, look at the heavy cluster of thunderstorm that's going to be across parts of the central Texas Panhandle, extending on into parts of southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma here. Showers and thunderstorms will be developing. Look here across parts of Florida again as we head into Thursday with this Gulf low. As we move on to the afternoon and evening hours, look, oh man, you guys, look here across yet again. The Texas Panhandle is going to be getting drilled here, you guys, with these cluster of showers and thunderstorms. Another cluster is going to form and impact those areas. And look, even here across parts of central northern Oklahoma, around the Oklahoma City area, these clusters of showers and thunderstorms look fairly strong here, you guys. So I will not be surprised if this severe weather risk does shift a little further to the east as well to include more of parts of central and northern Oklahoma as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Look at the heavy clusters of showers and maybe a few strong thunderstorms here across parts of eastern Nebraska and Kansas for Thursday. Look at all the heavy rains across the Rockies. The desert southwest here, you guys, will be experiencing some rain. Even here across parts of the Florida Panhandle, extending on down. Look at these cells across near Tampa Bay, extending to Miami. These cells could produce some strong locally gusty winds here as we head into Thursday. We go into the overnight hours. And you guys, not much. Everything starts to quiet down, as you can see, except across the eastern Gulf with the Gulf low. Maybe some heavy showers here across parts of northern Montana overnight Thursday into Friday. But as we go, as far as the HRRR will take us out, which is Friday, convective outlook day 3. And as you can see here, you guys, yet again, the southern high plains. Here we go, Midland, Odessa, Lubbock. All these areas will yet again be under a slight risk for severe weather on Friday as well, you guys, and extending on up into parts of Kansas. Oklahoma will be under the marginal risk. Amarillo, Garden City, you guys. So we will definitely have a very active week as far as the severe weather express and also with this Gulf low. So the weather is going to be keeping us fairly busy, you guys. So if you haven't done so already, please be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you can stay up to date and weather aware as well as other people that you may know can also stay up to date and weather aware as the Storm Prediction Center comes out with their updates. I have them posted here on my shorts and community section here for you guys. So that's going to be it for this one. Everyone be safe, be careful, and I'll be back tomorrow morning to take a look at all of this with you guys. So everyone be safe, be careful, and talk to you all later.